La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra vez contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Ey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándome contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot.
Hello everyone, can everyone hear me? Well, it's literally just gone midnight in the UK, so happy Friday. Oh, I am so glad to be back. So much has happened since I've been away, and of course, if you've been following on my post tab, the reason I've been away is because good old Mackie, my MacBook of almost 8 years, literally died. Do you guys want to know something so funny? I'm actually working on a project right now that kind of it centers around dating and awareness during dating. And it's also kind of linked to Andrew Tate and the kind of culture that these online influencers have created. And I'm not even kidding. I was browsing an article about Andrew Tate just getting arrested. And that's when my laptop shut down. The devil is doing his work. The devil doesn't want me to do God's work. And that's why my laptop died. I'm not kidding. My laptop literally died while I was browsing an Andrew Tate article. But yeah, it was my MacBook, and it just started doing this weird like reset loop. And then it did that. I tried like maybe 10 times, and then all of a sudden my screen just went black. And there was this like circle with a strike through it. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I took it to the Apple store. Initially, they couldn't find any initial hardware issues, but sometimes it doesn't always flag on the system. They tried and they tried and they tried. They said they had to do a hard reset. That didn't work either. And they were like, do you know what? We have to look into it a little bit more. So I had to go back the next day. And they were like, no, it's definitely actually a problem with the hardware. And it was just going to take too much longer to sort it out. And doing it with Mac themselves is going to be too expensive. So thank you everyone that did donate for me to get a new laptop. I highly, highly appreciate it. Yeah, I think collectively you raised about £350. So that was enough for me to get like a decent HP Chromebook. Also insurance. I made sure to buy insurance so that if this laptop does break down, I don't have to pay for fixing it. But the warranty is good for 2 years. The insurance is like a monthly payment. So as long as I keep paying it, I can get it fixed at any time. And then I also made sure to buy like a cover to protect it. So I was able to get all the things that I needed to get. So grateful to everyone who donated through Buy Me a Coffee and through PayPal. You are awesome. Yeah, because it was just such an unexpected expense. And I didn't even get any warning from my MacBook. It didn't tell me anything was wrong. So it just like came out of nowhere. So I appreciate you all. Squad to the rescue. Right. What was this? John Commonwealth. I saw he's being sent to Britain. You're talking about Tate? Yeah. Him and Tristan, they've actually formally charged them. I think there's 21 charges between them, but the case in Romania has to wrap up first. So once that's wrapped up, he will be sent to the UK. In the thing that's happening in Romania, they have a new president, and apparently he's quite determined to sort out the Tate brothers, whereas his opponent was more on their side. So the good chance they could get charges in Romania, but that has to finish first before they get extradited to the UK. But my guess is that they will likely face heavier charges in the UK and probably be found guilty on those charges. Yeah. So yeah, get your outfits ready, girls. I'm having a party that day they're sent to jail. And of course, keep an eye out because my project is going to be interesting. Okay, let's get to the royal news. Meghan, I have to confess that I have not listened to the last 2 weeks of Confessions of a Female Founder. First of all, everything that was going on with my laptop and some other stuff that was going on. So I actually have to catch up. But overall, I think the general feedback was that it was very insightful, very diverse, the different voices, the different perspectives, the different businesses that were on. And getting to hear just different journeys and different stories from very, very different women running very, very different businesses. And it's just incredible to see who Meghan is now surrounded by. Your network is your net worth. Financially, of course, and she's now surrounded by billionaire, multimillionaire women, and men too. But also, when we say your network is your net worth, it's also emotionally, spiritually, the joy you're surrounded with, the attitudes you're surrounded with. Are you around people who are collaborating or competing? She's now around people who are collaborating, lifting each other up. And that's just been most wonderful about this, actually. Not just the insight that we've gotten from the female entrepreneurs, but an insight into who Meghan now has around her. She spoke to Fortune magazine. I think I actually forgot to put them on the slide, sorry. So I'm just going to read out a couple of quotes from Fortune magazine because this was also very insightful and I wouldn't want to miss this. A couple of things she said. The easiest thing to do would have been to endlessly restock the popular products, which would likely sell out very quickly again. But while the As Ever team has hinted online that the items will be back on sale soon, Meghan also wants to take a step back, gather data from the launch, and figure out exactly what As Ever could be. She says she's planning to announce new product in the first quarter of 2026. I don't think that Meghan is, just looking to put her name on anything and everything. I think even if you look at her pre-royal life, Everything was done with a personal touch. Everything was done with a great sense of care. As Ever is going to be $1 billion brand. That's just a given. So why rush the process? And look at who she has around her to help her avoid all of those trip ups. And it was announced today, we have a bonus episode. Tina Knowles, mother of Beyonce Knowles and Solange Knowles, auntie and head matriarch of Destiny's Children, who now has a book out. She will be on the bonus episode. I just find it so hilarious that every single time we get something glorious like this come out, you just know the British tabloids and the palace knew nothing. It gives me so much joy. I cannot wait for this. Doria and Tina were actually photographed at an exhibition not too far back. Beyonce's publicist has posted a lot about Meghan and in support of Meghan, and Beyonce has given public support of Meghan also. So very excited to hear what she has to say. I mean, what an incredible journey Tina Knowles has had, both as a businesswoman before Destiny's Child was Destiny's Child. She owned her own hair salon in Houston, and then the entire journey she's been on supporting her daughter and the women of Destiny's Child. And then her, her own personal relationships, also her ex-husband, and I think she recently remarried. But it's been a remarkable journey, and just the layers and the depth of that story. Who else to give her a platform really to talk about her journey than Meghan? So very much looking forward to that. And bravo for Confessions of a Female Founder, season 1 wrapped up. Can I just say, please send your prayers to Rahini. Rahini, sorry, I haven't had a moment to look at what you text back, but I saw that you were in hospital. I'm praying for you. Please send your prayers to Rahini, to Elaine, to all of the squad. We're all going through things, and it's great to just know that, people are thinking about you. Yes, Wendy, Meghan doesn't do things half-assed. She strategizes everything with results. It will be bigger and better. Also, from that Fortune article, let me also just read some other parts. There are some clues about what new items might be in the pipeline for As Ever. And let me actually, since we're talking about As Ever, Meghan has been posting. Cute. Look at this. By the way, the video is 100 times cuter. Lily just trolloping along there, trying to keep up with her mama. Just the cutest. And she's wearing Meghan's gloves. So wholesome and gorgeous. So happy the kids just get to live happy lives. Anyway, a little bit more on As Ever. There are some clues about what new items might be in the pipeline. Meghan's trademark application for her brand includes things like cookbooks, tableware, cutlery, and servingware. She says, I want to really focus on the hospitality angle of As Ever, but as we take the learnings, we can understand what the customer's needs are seasonally, she says. So there was talk at the very beginning that some things would just be seasonal or limited edition. It also goes on to say, in the future, though, the sky's the limit. I ask whether she might explore a clothing business, since many women are drawn to her personal style. She responds, a category of fashion is something I will explore at a later date, because I do think that's an interesting space for me, she says. And we know that she is, connected to people who are very high up in fashion. The lady who runs the somebody help me out here. Is that brand connected to Khloe Kardashian, American something? It's like $1 billion brand now. So she's got people around her. And Netflix, of course. Meghan also says, if I had to write a resume, I don't know what I would call myself, she says. I think it speaks to this chapter many of us find ourselves in, when none of us are one note. But I believe all the notes I am playing are part of the same song. That speaks to me so much. or I'm like doing a million different things and they're all kind of just part of the same song. Brilliant. But yeah, I think fashion without a doubt, right? Meghan's style is so minimalist, easy to replicate. Even just walking around, I have noticed, not necessarily that it's directly inspired by Meghan in terms of people copying what she's wearing, but because what she's wearing sells out so much, so many different brands now start making similar thing. And all of a sudden, I've just noticed a lot of people wearing like white and blue striped t-shirts or brown and white striped t-shirts. Like it's become such a trendy item piece now that I never used to see before. You know how like just suddenly certain things will just start trending, like when ballet flats were a thing and ponchos were a thing. I've been seeing like white and blue shirts, that kind of Meghan style, more and more lately. But yeah, I also think we could get stuff like more teas, candles, fragrances. Sky's the limit. Also some celebrity love from Zoe Saldana, actress Zoe Saldana. She got her package as well. Also Abigail Spencer, who's one of Meghan's friends. I think she has a florist. So maybe something limited edition there, who knows? Lots of great stuff happening for as ever. In other places, the ancestors are doing their dirty work. It's just one after, I feel like almost every single week, something's happened to someone. So last week it was the Loose Women was getting axed for like half the year. And now we have Vanessa Feltz. Just 2 months after her show, they are in crisis talks about the future of her show. I guess hating on Harry and Meghan just isn't bringing in the views like it used to. There was also a very strange article about Meghan reaching out to Vanessa Feltz, which I did not believe. And Omid actually liked this post from a squaddy. The post said, also, while I'm on the topic of Vanessa Feltz, she has got to be delusional. She has got to be a delusional liar. Since she has become a major Meghan Sussex troll and has used her platforms recently to troll, parody, and tell Meghan to be private, this claim that Omid Scobie passed on a message of thanks to her is ridiculous. Yeah, so she basically claimed that Omid passed on a message of thanks to her from Meghan. Number one, I don't know how many times it has to be said, Harry and Meghan and Omid are not friends. Omid is not Harry and Meghan's friend. He wrote a book, Finding Freedom, and that was pretty much it. Some of the stuff from that book anyway was debunked. So they want to continue to feed this narrative while making up more lies. Vanessa Feltz, by the way, she was with her ex for her ex-boyfriend for I think 16 years. She refused to marry him because her ex-husband before that cheated on her. Well, the boyfriend then cheated on her, moved on to another woman, and got engaged to that woman within a month. Every single one of these women, it's like there's something going on in their personal lives, and it's like they want to take it out on Meghan. Also, Meghan McCain, my father McCain, merges YouTube show with a podcast as low viewership plays program. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine why nobody would want to listen to Meghan, my father McCain. Mind you, the last 2 times that she started trending in the last 6 months, it was because she had Duchess Meghan on her lips. I literally have not heard of anything else this woman has done other than when she had Duchess Meghan's name on her lips. Nobody wants to listen to her. Oh, and then of course, this Gollum and his brother hopefully will be sent to jail very, very soon. Another Meghan hater. There seems to be a pattern with the particular types of men and the particular types of women that hate on Meghan. I can't wait for the day this guy is thrown in the slammer. Be a wonderful day for women. Okay, let me go to comments and then we shall keep it moving. Miss Levy, you said, I don't think Vanessa will be having a season 2. I don't think she will. Elaine, your keyring arrived. That's amazing. Finally. So glad to hear Elaine was one of the people who I picked to have a free item from Squiddy Hooks. So glad to hear that your keyring arrived, Elaine. You can do email me a picture, and I shall have a look at that. If you want to, of course. Would love to see your keyring. Yeah, Squiddy Hooks is still live, folks. Maybe don't order anything or I don't know, Rahini, should we hold off ordering anything for now? You let us know. Or just be a little bit more patient while, Rahini's just in hospital recovering. But Squiddy Hooks is still live, folks. Please do support. Yeah, Meghan is a multitasker. She'll have an entire lifestyle brand for sure. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker, also for that super sticker. Heather, people didn't like McCain when she was on The View, her biggest platform. She did always seem very forced while she was there. And she only got there because of her father, McCain. Okay, so let's get on to the next thing. Harry flying in like a ninja to China. Like, wow. Hello. We're honored to welcome Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, to Trip.com's Envision 2025 global conference on behalf of Travelist. Harry, obviously, being Travelist's founder. His heartfelt address highlighted the shared industry's responsibility we've pursued together for years. For 6 years, our collaboration with Travelist has empowered millions of travelers to access reliable sustainability information when booking. This resonates deeply with the urgent call that Prince Harry delivered in his keynote for the global travel industry to act collectively, prioritize communities, and center sustainability. Amen to that. And goodness knows the tourism industry needs it, especially in areas where there's over-tourism. And it's causing damage to local communities and the environment, and the overall impact of tourism. Honestly, I saw this and I was like, what? Really? My man flew all the way to Shanghai, China, and no one knew. Wow. This is what it means to be a global statesman. For real. Harry's just doing his thing. He's not trying to compete with anyone. I do wonder, I haven't seen anything else from, what he did in China, or if he did anything else, or if he made any more stops, if he'll make any more stops on the way back, who knows? But it was a great speech, very confidently spoken, and I think it just shows that, regardless of this type of nonsense, the Sussexes, they're just getting on with what they want to do in peace, in private. It's just so interesting that everyone they work with in all these different industries and spaces respect their privacy and don't leak. And I think it just shows that people really want this couple to win. They really, really want this couple to win. They also know the value that this couple brings to their brand. Yeah, and yet in the British tabloids, you've got the Mirror here writing on the 24th, Prince Harry is a stay-at-home dad, and then without much to do, according to a new documentary. What documentary is this? And then on the 26th, 2 days later, Prince Harry makes a surprise trip to China, just as Charles starts historic Canada visit. Historic for all the wrong reasons, by the way, as we are about to find out. I'm not going to cover it in my podcast because Baron covered it in his, but Kate went and did some boat unveiling and needed notes to read 8 lines? My goodness. I mean, listen, I'm not the best in terms of reading speeches. I still struggle with speech. But when you have access to the best, speech therapists, speech writers, what have you, I just find it so strange that they just haven't done a better job with Kate. But really, does Kate want to do a better job with Kate? Because how, after what has it been now? Coming to over 2 decades of being involved with the royal family, and they wouldn't get her any help, nothing? Or is it that she's just too lazy and she doesn't want the help at all? I don't understand it. She's also gone back to the coat dresses. She seems to flick back and forth between coat dresses and copying Meghan. Anyway, down in Quebec, I was, do you know what? This is how much I really don't pay attention to the other royals. I was wondering why everybody was posting pictures of Diana in Canada. I was like, why does everyone keep posting pictures of Diana in Canada? Not realizing Camilla and Charles have gone for a trip. Anyway, Quebec legislators vote to cut ties with British monarchy after King's visit. On the same day King Charles delivered a throne speech in Ottawa, heaping praise on Canada, the National Assembly adopted a motion calling on Quebec to abolish all ties with the monarchy, presented Tuesday by Parti Québécois leader Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon. The motion states that Quebec is the only custodian of the democratic expression of the Quebec people. It notes the majority of Quebecers feel no attachment to the monarchy and that the National Assembly agrees to abolish the link between Quebec state and the British monarchy. The motion was adopted without debate. The vote was unanimous with 106 MNAs from the coalition Avenir Quebec government and 2 other opposition parties, the Liberals and Quebec Solidaire, voting in favor of the PQ motion. So, okay, so was Charles's trip and visit an attempt to stop this then? Because it's not like they woke up last week and decided that they were going to do this. This must have been in motion for some time. So was this some petty, pathetic attempt to get them to not do this, to have some presence there? It kind of reeks of audacity, because it seems to me like these people have already long decided, but then you still show up for what? The symbolic vote came on the day King Charles delivered. It came on the very day that King Charles delivered a historic address in the Senate chamber in Ottawa, quoting the words of the Canadian national anthem. "The true North is indeed strong and free," he said to the applause of MPs, senators, and guests. But the legislature in Quebec City, but at the legislature in Quebec City, the speech was greeted with a mix of indifference and ridicule. "I didn't listen to it," Premier Francois Legault said on his way out of a question period in the afternoon. "I was in meetings." Indeed, he was doing ish. So why would he be listening to some King's speech? Salmon Jolien Barrette, the minister responsible for Canadian relations, said the same thing, adding he would listen to it later. Ciao, you know that man didn't listen. But the opposition parties had plenty of opinions on the presence of King Charles and Queen Camilla on Canadian soil. I'm sure they did. So that's a no from the people of Quebec. That's an absolute no. And can you blame them? For what? For what? Right, there's a little bit more. Okay, so it carries on a bit, sorry. What a bizarre country Canada is. Quebec Solidaire co-spokesperson Ruba Gazar said in our news conference, to affirm its sovereignty, it believes it is important to bring the monarch of a foreign country here to talk about its priorities. QS was the first party to propose abolishing the oath to the monarchy that MNAs used to have to swear before taking their place in the House. In December 2022, a law was adopted making the oath optional. So they've been working on this for some time. After PQ's MNAs were briefly barred from sitting because they refused to take the oath. I believe that New Zealand will be next after what that Linda Thorpe did, because it's just ridiculous. In 2025, now QS wants to go further, calling on the CAQ government to put an end to the funding Quebec provides for the lieutenant governor, the king's representative at the legislature, which pays for things like office space, staff, a car, and a driver. Yeah, why do they need it? The Quebec budget this year included $750,000 to pay those costs. The salary of the lieutenant governor is paid by Ottawa. The post is occupied by Manon Ginotet. The day after she was named the position, the National Assembly adopted a motion calling for the post to be abolished. Good for them. Nothing has happened as a result of the motion because in reality, the government can't do much about the post in the short term. While much of the job is ceremonial, would that include smiling and waving here and there? Quebec laws do not become legal rules until they have royal sanction, which is Drenette's job. Listen, these people have said enough is enough. Please go away and don't come back. The same way Jamaica did. Interim Liberal leader Mark Tangway, who said he is no fan of the monarchy, noted that abolishing the post requires a constitutional amendment, which is no small order, which is rather annoying. Okay, did I have anything else to say? No, I did not. Oh, this picture from Sam Hussein, who took our favorite umbrella Ella picture of Harry and Meghan, has now taken an umbrella Ella picture of Miss Umbrella herself, Rihanna, with her man, A$AP Rocky. How crazy is it that the same photographer took these two pictures? Insane. Gorgeous as well. And both very charismatic couples in their own way. Right, let's wrap things up. I do actually still have work tomorrow. It's past midnight. Wendy, you said, not my king is grown in the UK and the Commonwealth. Elected leaders are fed up with the royals BS in a modern society. Yes. And you know what? Let's not forget that they had a chance to modernize and become a force for change, to have difficult conversations about the past. All of these things, they could have been done. Could have been done. They didn't want to do them. Your fault. Okay, folks, I'm going to wrap things up there. Thank you so much. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you once again for helping me get over this another hump. And yeah, hopefully we shouldn't have any technical difficulties now going forward. Appreciate you so much. Those of you in the UK, we're actually going to have a lovely scorching next couple of days. So wear your sunscreen. And if I don't see you what's today, Friday? If I don't see you today or Saturday, I will definitely do a podcast on Sunday. Only because I am working today and tomorrow. So we'll see how I feel after working. But if not, Sunday for sure. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Ciao.